Okay, it's recording.
Okay, so I have pizza dough that I made 2 days ago. I'm going to show how to stretch it out into a round shape for the pizza screens. I usually start it out a little bit on a board, but I don't get very far with that because it's hard to transfer. So this is a 14-inch screen. Measure it inside, it's 14 inches. Outside it's 14 and a half. And kind of center it on. Now this has rested outside of the refrigerator enough to be almost room temperature. It's still cold. And basically I just pull it into shape. Don't only the edges, and kind of get it into an even shape. And I don't want the center to be too thin, or else it might tear. And I like to have a little bit of substance to the crust and not have it be all like a cracker. I want to keep some thickness at the edge. And basically all you do is keep turning the pizza screen and even it out where especially if it comes out square, you have to kind of pull on the edges. And it doesn't have to reach this one it can probably reach the edge of the pizza screen in parts. And you see I'm not lifting up the whole thing. I'm not lifting up the center, only pulling out the edge. And I know you can make up to possibly a 16-inch diameter with this dough, but I don't make it larger than 15 usually. This is only going to be 14. It looks like I am going out to the edge. I don't want to make it easier to get off. I don't want to go right to the rim. This screen is slightly larger. Overall dimension is 16, but inside it's 15, so I call this a 15-inch screen. You can see the dough starts out somewhat square because I put it in these quart bags, and if you don't take it out right, it can end up with its corners being too square. So that basically all I do with the board is try to get it more into a round shape. I don't deflate it at all. And then when I get it that, try to center it on the screen. It starts out kind of square from the package and then pull away from the corners, make it more round. And then this one is not quite as much up to room temperature. When it's colder, it's going to be more resistant to being stretched. So if it's a little closer to room temperature, it'll be easier to stretch. This one's giving me a little more trouble. But it started out more square than the other one did for some reason. And I'm lifting this one up a little because the center is right here is kind of thick. I don't have to go all, I mean, I can go all the way to the edge of the screen. Depends on how thin I want it. And I'm making them slightly less thin from what I used to, because I like the thicker edge. It's easier to manipulate the pizza when it has an edge like that, especially when you're moving it to and from the pizza stone. I'm not going to cook it on this. I'm going to cook it on this pizza screen with cheese on it at 425 for 7 minutes. And then I to par bake it, and then I'm going to let it rest while we get the fire going and the barbecue and the big green egg, and then we'll finish cooking it with the toppings over charcoal, over mesquite wood charcoal. And because the dough has quite a bit of oil in it, and the bag was oiled, that helps it absorb the smoked flavor. I think this one's pretty much done. I don't want it to be anything. It's a little bit thicker there, but that's okay. So it'll be one edge of the pizza. It's going to be a little thicker, and it's okay. Alright, so this one's done. It's not a round shape, but they're ready for me to top with the cheese now. Okay.
Pause.
Pause.